everyone, it's Dr. Russell. So today I wanted to talk about something that's really important and a really great tool to help people that are super busy but are trying to eat healthier, and that is meal planning and prepping. So you've probably heard some version of this. So meal planning, all it is just kind of figuring out what meals you want to make for the week and then mapping that out on when you should make them, what days you're going to eat them, things like that. So there's a couple of tools you need to actually make this work, and I'm going to go through some different iterations of this for you. So all you need is paper, some pens or writing utensils, and your calendar. That's pretty much it. So the first thing that I think people go wrong with, or they don't really think through, is creating a master food list. So here I have here, all this is a way to, I have for breakfast, so kind of breakfast that you can, are in your repertoire that you like to make a lot or you think are healthy or they're easy to go with. And then I have lunch and dinner together because a lot of times, I think for most of us, lunch tends to be leftovers from dinner, so that's why I kind of combine those. And then the other thing people forget a lot is snacks. So, snacks are important to think through when you're doing your meal planning, because it's not like you just eat 3 meals a day for most of us and then you're good. So the first thing, make your master food list. Again, these are recipes that you know, that you like making, that they're healthy, and then just fill them out. And this is something that is a living kind of document. So as you maybe make new recipes or come up with new ideas, you can keep adding to this list. The benefit to having a master food list is when you meal prep, it takes one less thing out of the decision making, because you're not trying to think and remember, all the different recipes you have. You just have a list and you can easily pick off what you like to eat the best for that week. The other piece of paper that you need, and this is something that you can make as a template, is just to have breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and then each day of the week that you're meal planning for. So one thing you could do to consider if you are super busy, maybe just start with one day of the week, or all breakfast or all lunch or all dinner. You don't have to actually plan every single meal to start if that is extremely overwhelming, which I get it, that could be a lot. So maybe just start all with dinners for 1 week, or dinners Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Start small and work from there. So that's all you need. So the first thing, once you got your master list together, is to actually look at your calendar and look at what your week looks like for that week. So if say on Tuesday, I know I work late on Tuesday, sometimes I get home till like 8:30. So that for dinner is something that I need, something that's a leftover that's ready to go. So I know that would be carried over maybe for Monday or something like that. And then maybe, you have a meeting some other time or have an early day some other day. So you kind of block out times that aren't realistic for times that you're going to be able to meal plan and prep. And then all you do is kind of work backwards. Take your master food list and then fill it in and think through, okay, for dinner on Monday, I'm going to make lentil soup. And then I'll have that left over for dinner on Tuesday. And then, because Tuesday's a long day, so that's not going to work. And then Thursday, I will do maybe make dinner for that day, and then that'll be left over for lunch. So you just go day by day and plan that out. So simple enough, right? But I'm going to go through some issues that people come up with, or things to think through that can be problematic. So the first thing, like I said, is to start small. If it's just planning even snacks to start with, if it's just planning dinner, if it's just planning one day of the week, start with something that you can actually do. The other thing to think about is also planning your prep time. So for some of us, we like to prep for maybe 4 hours on the weekend, get everything cut up, ready to go. All you have to do maybe is just throw it together that day you want to cook it. But the more prep you can do, the better off you're going to be for the week. But you do have to plan the prep. So that is an important step that I think a lot of people forget, is they do the meal planning, but they don't figure out what days or times they're going to prep. So for me, like on, sometimes 4 hours or 5 hours is a lot. So I do some on Sunday, and then Wednesday tends to be a lighter day. So I'll do more on Wednesday to kind of break it up. But that's something I'm going to actually write down and plan for in my meal plan. The other thing that it is okay to get pre-cut up vegetables or cooked things if that's going to help make it a little bit easier. Say you look through and you're like, man, I got a crazy week. It is totally okay to get things that are ready to go or in more usable forms, so it just takes down your prep time for that week. So yeah, pre-cut vegetables, which is amazing that they have that now. That's something they can easily use and include in that. The other thing to think about, which I already talked about, don't forget snacks. That's something where, that's where the chips and the cookies and the crackers and all that stuff start coming in, because we got the meals all set, but then we don't think through snacks. So fruits, vegetables, hummus, nut butters, you can make your own snacks, Lar bars, all kinds of stuff are really good to have on hand and just kind of plan through things that you can eat throughout the week if you do get hungry. Another thing to think about, if you you live with someone, you have a partner, a spouse, even older kids, get them to help with meal prep. So if you already have your plan, you know what needs to be cut up or prepared for, each meal, get those people involved. Most people can cut up some vegetables or, measure out things. It really makes it a more fun, enjoyable activity when you can do it together and they can be part of the process and feel like they're contributing to that. So that's great. The other thing to think about is freezing things ahead of time. So maybe making extra meals or extra servings of things so that you have freezing, you can freeze those. And then that way in the future, if you have just a crazy week coming up, or at the end of the month, there's always some crazy stuff with school or work or whatever, you have some pre-frozen meals ahead of time, so that makes the prep even easier because those are ready to go and they're ones that you've cooked, not, store-bought frozen meals that who knows what's in them. And then the last thing for meal prep and planning that I would suggest is with your master food list, my goal is every month to try a new recipe because ultimately I want to add a lot more to this list. It can get boring if you're meal planning the same, 5 meals every week or 10 meals. So at least 20 meals is a good number to start with, I think. For lunch and dinner especially, breakfast tends to be pretty, boring for most people, but lunch and dinner, that is something that you can add to and add more things. So, like I said, I think 1 new recipe a month is kind of doable, even 6 a year, so 1 every other month is good, but then you're gonna add more things into that list that you can use, and some of those recipes you might find are faster and easier and more filling, and you can make more, and it's a lot easier for you to do. So definitely don't be afraid to try new things and add to that. So hopefully that was helpful. Again, meal planning doesn't have to be this crazy big thing. Using these 2 sheets, the list and the plan, makes it easier when you have decision fatigue and the last thing you want to do is think about food. All you need is these 2 sheets and you're good to go. So hopefully that was helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions or other things that you're struggling with meal planning, and I'll see if I can help with them.